It's always bright in here with the light coming in through the windows. It's Friday. It's 5 o'clock, 5 to 5. I'm here to talk about the movies I watched this week. Another week that I didn't watch that many. Watching other things besides the movies. But anyway, I did watch a few. Let's talk about the movies I watched. Well, last Saturday, we could go tomorrow, Rick was here. We watched Harry Potter, right? The second Harry Potter, and we watched Star Wars. Everybody knows about Harry Potter and Star Wars. Okay, so then I watched a movie called Columbiana, starring Zoe Saldana from 2011, I think it is. And a young girl's parents, she's sitting at home, her father runs in and says, "We gotta get out of here, right? They're coming to kill us." The cartel, members of the gangsters and all those guys over in Colombia, I presume. So they're all cleaning up and get out and stuff, and anyway, they show up and there's a gun battle. Machine guns and stuff like that. There's 4 stupid guys standing in front of the building, and their car drives up and starts talking to them. They all get blown away with a machine gun. I'd be a little hesitant to talk to somebody in a car that drives up in front of a building, But anyway, that's a movie. Happens in movies. There's stupid people in movies that get killed all the time. So anyway, they run upstairs and there's a little girl there, right? And the guy starts talking to her. She stabs him in the hand with a knife. She jumps out the window. She jumps down the building. She starts running away and everything. It's like, wow, she's quick. She's about 10 years old. Anyway, she ends up in, moving along. I think she ends up in, let's say Chicago. Anyway, and she's there with her uncle. Her uncle takes her to school. She comes out of school and she stands outside in the street, says she doesn't want to go to school. And her uncle says, "You don't want to go to school?" And she goes, "No." "Well, what do you want to do?" She says, "I want to be a killer." She's 10 years old. She wants to be a killer. Anyway, guess what happens? Yeah, she does. She becomes a killer. It's a pretty good movie. Yeah. That's 2011. I gave that a 7. Yeah, a good 7. And then I watched Fright Night from 2011. I think it's the remake from the one from 1985, I presume. And this stars Colin Farrell as Jerry, the vampire that moves in next door to the young fella's house. Anton Yelchin, I think he's the young guy that got accidentally killed with his truck or a van or something, pinning him against his metal gate, right, his home, when the wheels gave away or the brake gave away and pinned him. He died. Pretty sure it's that young gentleman. But anyway, he's in this movie as the kid, right, his mother and stuff. And the vampire lives next door. And his buddy's trying to tell him, right, that this Jerry guy's a vampire. Doesn't believe him. But, and the kids in school, they take their names, right, like, Bill, Jack, Bill's not here today. A couple other kids, they disappear, right, kids are gone, but nobody seems to pay any attention to that shit, right? People disappear around the neighborhood, nobody really gives a fuck, so, you get down to it, it's a movie. Nobody gives a shit anyway, right? It's a movie. So people disappear and nobody gives a shit. It's a good movie though. It's fun. Lots of stuff happens and it's a lot of action. I give it a 7. 7 out of 10. What did I give Columbiana? I give that a 7 too. I think all these movies are getting a 7. I watched a very Harold and Kumar 3D Xmas, starring John Cho and Carl Penn. It's a 3D movie. Well, you can tell it's a 3D movie. I don't have a 3D TV, but it's fun. You can tell sometimes about the 3D effect, right? So I just did it there. Anyway, a few years later, after they made those other movies they did back in, was it 2006? This is the Christmas one. But yeah, he's all messed up. Carl Penn, his character, what's his name, Kumar, smoking dope and everything, and John Cho has a very nice life and a nice house, a nice wife, and her family comes to visit. Anyway, I can't really tell you too much about that, but it's fun. There's a lot of hilarious moments in it. So that's a very Harold and Kumar Christmas. 3D Christmas, 2011. That gets a 7 too. And the other one I watched was Our Idiot Brother from 2011 again. Paul Judd. Paul Judd is now Ant-Man. Well, they made some funny movies back in the early 2000s, or late 2000s, 2011 and stuff. I don't know how many movies he made. I have no idea, to tell you the truth. But this one's Paul Judd, our idiot brother. He's outside selling. He's from a farm, right? And they sell vegetables and stuff. When he was standing on the corner, selling tomatoes and cucumbers and celeries, and a cop walks up to him and wants to know if he's got any dope. And he thinks the cop's funning him, right? No, you're kidding, right? And all that stuff. And the cop's saying, no, this is real. Come on, let me get some dope. So Paul Judd's character sells him dope, and then the cops puts him under arrest, and he goes to jail. That's how stupid this guy is. Gets out of jail, he ends up going back to the farm, right where he came from. His girlfriend's now living with another guy, so now he has to find someplace else to live. So he gets a chance to live with 3 of his sisters. Yeah, well, that didn't work out too well, right? So he keeps getting bounced from place to place. So yeah, our idiot brother, Paul Judd. I got a 7 out of 10. So 4 movies, all 7 out of 10. What else did I watch? So I didn't watch that many. Oh, Ghost in the Shell. And that's from this series I bought a while ago. A month ago or whatever. But yeah, it's in this. There's 10 movies in this. Ghost in the Shell from 2017, starring Scarlett Johansson. She looks nice. I like her, Scarlett Johansson. Of course, she's in the Avengers and stuff as Black Widow. But you guys already, girls and guys for that matter, already know all that stuff. So yeah, Ghost in the Shell. She, well, they tell her, right, in the beginning of the movie, she died, right? Her body's no good. They threw her body away, and they put her brain into this android / robot, whatever it is. And so she thinks that's what she isn't. Her past, right, was, they told her about her past too. But things start tweaking in her brain. She starts seeing things and recognizing things and stuff. Things start coming back and stuff. Now, I don't know anything about the animated program or movies or the books this is based on. Not a thing, nothing. I don't know any of that stuff. I don't know why. I don't know any of it. Just never materialized for me to find out anything about the Ghost in the Shell. But so they start, this hacker is going around killing people and doctors that work at this place right where they put their robots and androids together. So it's more to it than that, of course, but I can't tell you too much. I'll spoil it. Some movies you really can't tell too much about them, right? Because you don't want to spoil it. So that's another movie that gets a 7. This one gets a Ghost in the Shell, gets a 7, starring Scarlett Johansson from 2017. Now, I also watched the movie on TCM. Yes, TCM. I watch movies on TCM. Not all the time, whenever they're good. And if they're on at a certain time, I record them, right, and I watch them later. That's how you do it. Anyway, this one's from 1944. This one stars Spencer Tracy, right, and it also stars Jessica Tandy in her first movie, and with her husband, Hume Cronin, I think his name is. But When all but one of a group of concentration camp escapees have been captured, the Nazis are looking for number 7. Now they're hunting everywhere for this guy, right? Searching all over, barns, streets, houses, everywhere to get this guy. Spencer Tracy's number 7. That's who they're looking for. Spencer Tracy, right? And he has to hide out in different places, right? He has to get out of Germany. I think this is 1936, Germany, this takes place. And out of these 7 escapees from the concentration camp, the guy in charge of the concentration camp has 7 trees. Well, he doesn't have them, but there's 7 trees outside that all have a board, like a cross type of thing on it, right? And therefore 7 of them. Well, they catch 6 of them, and they're all out there hanging on the tree or arms spread over the wood, right? And they're all slumped over. Most of them, not all of them, because some of them are died. Some of them, other things happened to them, but he's number 7, Spencer Tracy. Spencer Tracy does a very good job in his acting and stuff. He's really good. Spencer Tracy's good in pretty well everything he does. He's a serious actor. Like, he can act in any type of movie from what I've seen over the years. So yeah, so this is very good. Gets a 7. 1944, made in 1944. And this is the first appearance of Jessica Tandy. I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, one more last movie I watched. I watched this, of course, yesterday, Thursday. And it's this one here. Got a jacket to keep it warm, as I always say. This is 2 DVDs in it. Dirty Harry, and the other one is Special Features. I haven't watched the Special Features one yet. Yeah. So, I give this Dirty Harry. You got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? Hilarious. Anyway, that's Dirty Harry. What's this? Excuse me. 1971. 1971. Can you imagine that? 50 years ago. 50 friggin' years ago. You guys are getting old. You know that? 50 years ago. That's a long time ago. 50 friggin' years. 50 years ago, I wasn't even married. I didn't even have any kids. I wasn't even a grandfather. For that matter, I wasn't even a great-grandfather yet. I was only 20 years old. 20 years old. A little shit. 20 years old. Dancing, getting drunk, smoking dope, and messing around with the females. Dirty Harry, 1971. Clint Eastwood. 8 out of 10. I also been watching on Netflix. I've been watching what's it? The one about the girls. Good Girls. Yeah, I've been watching Good Girls at lunchtime. You know, I have lunch, have a tea, and some cheese, and you know, something to eat, right, and stuff like that. But I've been watching Good Girls at lunch. I'm on about the first season, I think number 8 or 9 episode. 8 or 9 episode. Yeah, episode 8 or 9. It's fun. It's very good. I liked it. So there you go. That's what I've been watching in the afternoon. I watch a bit of the hockey games. Not them all. I don't watch all the hockey games. I watch a bit here and there. Stuff like that. But anyway, it's hot here in Toronto. It'll probably be hot here tomorrow and Saturday. And Rick's not going to be here tomorrow for Saturday for the Bob and Rick show. He has a gig with his buddies playing in a band somewhere, so that's good for Rick to do that. And so tomorrow I'll be here watching movies on my own. I won't be watching Star Wars or Harry Potter because I do that with Rick. That's a thing that we do on a Saturday. So, all right, people, stay safe. Keep watching the movies. Talk to you next week. And I thank all the wonderful people that watch my videos. And you know who you are. Later. Like I said, have a good weekend.